I did, yeah.
I missed shanties. Oh no.
The sea
I had some sea
shanties.
shanties
Oh.
going earlier that were pretty fun. All right, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons tonight.
Yep.
Seems like it's been ages since our last session. Wow,
Yeah.
a lot happened last session. I'm going to try to recap as best I can, and then if anybody wants to throw anything in after that that you recall, that'd be awesome. The session started out with the four of you heading to the Solmore house to request an introduction with the Keelan Navy. And Anders Solmore greeted you. He provided a letter of support and introduction that you were then able to pass off to the first mate of the Myrmidon, who happened to be meeting with Galen Primewater at the city council chambers. So his name being Mylar Orvid, he sat down with the four of you to have a conversation about the Sahwajin conflict that was brewing on the coastline not far from Saltmarsh, and the concerns that the Navy had along with the city leaders in terms of what that threat might, what type of danger that might pose for the town and the entire coastline, really. So there was some discussion about the opportunity that there might be for the Deg Gang, for lack of a better group name, and we can certainly use that or change it as you guys wish. But the opportunity for you to get involved to help with the potential infiltration of the Sawajin lair, to collect intel, and perhaps if the opportunity arose, to take out some of their leadership, which has been shown in the past to be very effective in fighting these creatures. So you talked a little bit about that. Mylar indicated that he would bring your information to the War Council, who was developing a battle plan for this threat, and that he would get back with you in 2 to 3 days, roughly, a couple days, to discuss the decisions that had been made and what the plan would be going forward. So you took that meeting with Mylar and Galen. You were then able to, you kind of split up at that point. Irin went over to the Dwarven Anvil, where he spoke with Mafra, who he had talked with before about perhaps helping out with some of the work. They just have piles and piles of work to do there. And she offered you the forge to sort of exercise your skills, give her a chance to sort of gauge your ability level, and you pretty much blew her away in terms of your working of the iron and your stamina at the forge. I just imagine like a lot of like sweat glistening and dripping off of huge muscles, just smashing this hammer against metal, and
It was very sensual.
this young boy and his mother just being sort of in awe of what was happening. But at the same time, Irin, you kind of had this sort of, it's something that you'd experienced before, but you drew energy from the actions and the movements that you were making. It actually kind of energized you. And so anyways, that you were able to craft a pretty finely made dagger that the boy then offered to craft a hilt for. And so you handed him the dagger, and he went forth to do that. Meanwhile, I think, yeah, Rhunar and Theo made your way back to the council chambers, where you had a conversation with Manistred Copperlocks, trying to get a better feeling for what type of trouble they were having out at the Dwarven Mine. And so you got a little bit of information from her, a suggestion that you would go out and speak with the foreman of the mine and lend a hand in figuring out, what was happening in terms of these undead that kept showing up. Was it connected, the likely connection to the theft of supplies, and where was this coming from? They were able to defend themselves and kind of dispatch the undead, but they were more concerned about their supplies being stolen. And I guess, as you can remember back to earlier in our sessions, there was a larger theft of Dwarven mining equipment from the docks. So you got that information with the side quest to go out to the Dwarven Mine and help out there. Byron, meanwhile, was back at the snapping line doing more research on Dralian's journal, and was able to decipher one additional entry number 8, and he mentioned to the group that he was wondering if they'd ever heard of a man named Solana, which some of you had. There was a connection there. There was also some conversation, or Byron kind of talked a little bit about a map, and that was about it for that, because at about that time it was the time for Theo to meet Crack and to initiate this side quest, or side job that Kreb had given you to escort which you thought was Crack to the docks, when it turned out you were actually following a drunken navalman and a woman who was guiding him down to the docks. Turned out this man was none other than Mylar Orvid, the first mate of the Myrmidon. He was found himself in a little bit of a honeypot situation with this woman, and was quickly accosted and pulled inside of this large stone warehouse, at which point you sprang into action saying, that shit ain't gonna fly around here, and you took up arms against against Crack and what turned out to be a small group of thugs who were up to something in this warehouse. During the fight that ensued, there was some pretty sweet monk shit that was reminiscent of some Batman movies, and kicking out the lights and then just wreaking havoc. There was a lot of really fun combat, and at some point a fire started as the Deg Gang was, I guess, dispatching these thugs and trying to save Mylar Orvid. I believe it was Irin that slipped him a healing potion at a critical moment, helping to stabilize him and bring him back from the edge of death, and then you and Byron worked to bring him out of the warehouse. Theo had noticed that a bolt from a crossbow from an unseen assailant flew down and actually killed Crack. And then you went up to investigate, and you saw a mysterious cloaked figure escaping across the rooftops as you looked out the window. So at this point, or actually I should say, is there anything that anybody else wants to throw in there that to kind of help recap anything that stood out for you?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I had forgotten so much of that happened on the front end of the session, because the Batman had just kind of overridden everything in my memory.
Yeah, it was a pretty sweet sequence of events.
Fire and honeypots.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, at this point, what's happening is that the fire has spread. The flames are growing as they catch and pass from crate to crate, these dried crates against the south side of the building. Let's bring everybody over to that location here. Yeah, it's a bit of a shit show. What had just happened before we took a break, or had to end the session, was that Irin had moved out the door up to the west, and had also noticed that there were guards moving in. He had signaled to the guards. Meanwhile, Theo is still up on the upper level of the deck inside the building, second story, and Rhunar is standing down at the bottom of the stairs in front of a thug, a young boy really, who was just there to make a buck, and who has just dropped his sword. And then Mylar and Byron, I guess, is helping Mylar out of the. Let's get around there. Oops, I didn't want to do that. As it turns out, it is the top of the order again, and it is Rhunnar's turn. Rhunar, again, the flames are starting to grow. They're not quite blocking the entrance over here. If you can see that ping, that entrance is still available. It's not being blocked at all. but you've got this guy in front of you who just dropped his sword, and that's where we're at. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna hold my scimitar up to this guy's face and just be like, "Your exit's on the other side of the building over there. Run now."
Okay.
So do I have to roll for that, or is he just gonna do what I tell him?
Yeah, you can roll an intimidation check. That might be fun.
Don't you know who that is, boy?
Yeah, you look down and you can see this puddle forming at his pant leg. And he just kind of nods. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else that you want to do?
Yeah, and then I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Is that the town guard I see out there?
Yeah, as you peek your head out, you see a bunch of town guardsmen running towards the building.
Okay, I'm gonna go 4, 5, 6. And do I see that guy that ran away?
Yes, you see him down here at the edge of the screen there, and he is currently being cleaned off of the swords of these guards. Looks like they just put him down.
Ah, okay. All right, well, that's who I was after, so I'm going to just stay here.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Theo.
All right, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I jump down to those crates?
Absolutely.
Do I need to roll athletics or anything, or is it just go for it?
You can just go for it.
20, 25, 30. And then I'll take my action to keep moving so I can grab the body of the dead guy over here.
Okay.
And that is all I can do this turn.
All right. As instructed, this young boy, really just barely a man, runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he'll use his action to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He gets right there, and he's trying to get the hell out of here. He kind of looks down at Crack, and anybody who's looking at him without even a perception roll, you can just see that he's just scared shitless.
As he should be.
Yes, he should be.
And
exactly.
Urineless.
Yep, he is. He's vacated his bowels. Byron, I believe you're at the doorway, and you currently are sort of helping Mylor as you try to escape the building.
Yep. I will go ahead and finish pulling him out.
Okay. So you can do about half
so
half your movement with him if you want.
Okay, so I'll do 5, 10, 15.
Okay. There
And I'll put him down.
Okay. He's alive. He looks he looks rough. But
Ooh.
he's conscious, and he's not dead. But he doesn't look good. He's lost a lot of blood.
Only
I don't have any healing.
If only we had a bard.
Like a play him a lullaby?
That's true.
Is he unconscious? Is he doing saving throws at this point? Like basically dying?
Should hope not.
No,
I
he's
gave him a
not.
healing potion.
Yeah, no, he's not like on the verge of death, but he doesn't look good at all.
Okay.
Do any of you guys have a healer's kit at all?
I do. Rhunar does, but
Okay.
that's what I was just going to suggest is a healer's kit to stabilize him. But
All right. Anything else, Byron, at this point?
Can I use can I dash to move another 15 feet?
Yeah, you can if you drop
With him?
him. Oh, with him? If you want to carry him, you can do another 15 feet. If you want to set him down, then you can do your full movement as a dash action.
Okay, I will actually. Ooh, Ooh. I didn't see the other guy. I'm gonna keep dragging him. I'm gonna drag him another 15 feet.
Okay.
5, 10, 15 feet to here.
All right. Perfect.
And now I'll lay him down.
Okay. Irin.
What is this guard doing?
He is running towards the door as fast as he can.
Like towards the front door or towards me?
Oh, this guard down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. He is coming towards you, yes.
The one I can see. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Because you hailed him earlier.
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I will 10, 15, 20. Actually, before I do that, I'll look over at Byron and like, are you good?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I was making sure, like, they always say get far away from the building. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It's a PSA type of thing.
Yeah.
And Byron, you dragged the Mylor away?
Yeah, the Navy guy.
All right. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, I'll kind of move up to here. I will say to the guard, oh, glad you guys showed up. We've got some wounded men over here. There was like, I don't know, some bad things went down. It's good that you're here though. That's all I got.
Okay. At that point, the guard, he steps up to you, this guard here, and he says, "We've got to get these fires out.
Do you have a bucket brigade?
They're coming. Is there anybody inside that we need to get?"
I think we've got 2 guys inside checking for other wounded. They should hopefully be out soon. That fire's getting hot.
Roger. And he keeps running. 15,
Okay.
20, 25, 30. This guard.
He's like, nope, it's a little hot over there. I'm going to scoot over to the other side of the
Yep.
alley.
5, 10. You see a second guard comes running past you. Rhunar, this guard comes up to you and he says, "Are there any more inside?"
I know there's at least one more of my guys in there.
"We've got to get him." So he gets up here to the door. All right, so all these guards are now kind of converging. And this is the captain of the guard who comes up to you, Rhunar, this guy here. And he says, "Tell me what happened and tell me quick."
Wait, is it the captain of the guard?
It's not Eleander, it's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
It's the guy on duty.
It's the guy on duty.
The sub-captain.
Correct.
Well, my men and I blocked an attempt to kidnap a naval officer by these guys. Looks like your men killed one of them down there. We got the rest inside. I think there's another survivor inside right now. One of their men.
Okay. It's your turn now, Rhunar, if there's anything that you want to do. Basically, these guards are kind of getting ready to help the bucket brigade that's on their way.
I'm gonna move up here, unless this guy is telling me I can't move. I don't know.
No, he's not like...
He's not being hostile or anything.
He kind of recognizes you as you start talking to him. You see kind of a glint of recognition in his eye. But he does look concerned that you just came running out of a burning building. But at this point, you can also tell that he's a little bit more interested in getting this fire out.
Get Eleander Fireborn down here. That's his name, right?
Yep.
Captain. Tell him Rhunar Deg is asking for him. And I'm gonna just kind of move up here to 1, 2, breeze past this guy and see if I can see Theo.
You can see Theo through the growing flames.
I'm just gonna yell, "Get out of there! Drop him if you have to."
You know I have a plan, right?
Okay. All right.
So, is there anything else that you want to do, Rhunar?
No, I'm just gonna hold here.
All right. So
Yeah.
Theo, basically what you're seeing is that the flames have spread. The place is growing as a danger to you, and the flames are licking closer to you. The temperature is rising, and what are you gonna do?
Theo grabs the corpse of the guy that was in charge, looks out through the flames to the front of the building where he came, murmurs some strange arcane words. There's another thunderous peal of cacophonous thunder, and him and the body teleport out into the front of the building.
Nice.
So I use Thunderstep again.
Hell
he's
yeah.
fine.
And Rhunar, you just see him disappear. And when you use Thunderstep, does it give off like a wave? Like
It does damage to everyone within 10 feet. It can be heard up to 300 feet.
how about objects?
Oh yeah, it sends shit flying.
All right. And did you take the bandit captain with you, or the thug? Okay.
That guy
Yep.
who was in charge.
Okay, so he's with you. Rhunar, as you watch Theo and this dead body just disappear, and just there's this kind of ripple effect that goes through the flames, and a bunch of these boxes and barrels up here get tipped over. This table gets flipped over. The flames get beat back a little bit. Anything else, Theo?
After that, Theo just kind of lands on his ass and goes, "Whew, okay, hello, Mr. Deadman," and that's it.
Okay. That brings us to the last remaining live guy, and he is trying to get out of there, but since he's now in the fire, he's going to take some damage.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
He only had 8 hit points left.
No. Damn it.
We just toasted Rhunar just toasted that little boy.
Yep. He was just
You
trying to make
burnt him to death.
He was just trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
That's been fun.
No one will ever live
not
to tell
gonna
his
feel that.
tale.
We
Okay.
needed him alive. Oh.
So at this point, we'll drop out of initiative, and what transpires is that Byron and Mylar are on the western edge of this building. Byron, you're sort of helping him and sort of tending to him as these guards race forward to help out as well. Theo has escaped to the south, and you just watch as this building just continues to burn. But you do see that from down this direction, a bunch of townsfolk and dock workers come running. And it's pretty late in the night, but there's a bell ringing at this point, and people are responding, and they're coming with buckets of water. There are people coming from this direction as well, and the guards are, some of them are helping, some of them are inspecting the thugs to make sure that they're not a threat anymore and trying to identify who they are. The captain is now kind of talking with you guys and trying to get a full synopsis of what happened. And it's you guys can kind of decide how much information you provide him. But eventually the fire just rages, but it does eventually get put out by the efforts of the townsfolk and the towns guard.
I would probably join in that assistance
Absolutely.
with the bucket dudes and stuff.
All right. Who else does anybody else want to help?
Theo will help, and he's definitely letting everyone else do the explanations.
I'm just gonna stand next to Mylar with my weapon ready,
Okay.
just
Eventually,
in case anyone starts coming around.
these guards come over and they see you there, and they start asking you like, what's the meaning of this? What's going on with this man?
I'd like to
Let's
make
worry
a
about
run
this
here.
fire first.
They tell you to put your weapon down. They don't know who you are. They just see you standing over this guy. So you appear to be a threat to them at this point.
Oh, I will sheath my weapon, but I will continue to stand over this guy.
Okay.
And I will say, we need to worry about this fire right now. Like, this is, like, please, let's worry about this fire right now.
They, with or without your help, it doesn't make any difference necessarily. But they're gonna help Mylar out to the front just to get him away from these buildings.
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
can give him a
I'll
hand
help
if you
that.
want. But they get him out here, and they're gonna sort of attend to him, or one of them is, and the rest of them are gonna work on getting this fire put out. And so it looks like Theo, Irin are gonna help with that effort. Rhunar, are you gonna be talking with this guy, the head of the town guard regiment that arrived? Okay. So he's gonna try to get the lowdown on what happened from you and figure, why were you guys here? What happened? How did the fire start? And who started the fire? Basically, he wants to get to the bottom of it.
Well, I'm not going to tell him like the intricacies of our plan with involving Crab and everything, but I'm going to, tell him that we came across these men trying to kidnap Mylar, and a struggle ensued, a fight ensued, and in the process, the warehouse got lit on fire. I wasn't sure who lit it on fire.
Did you see how the fire actually started, do you think? During the battle? Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, I don't know how it started.
Okay.
Because I wasn't even in the building yet, I think, when that
Yeah,
happened.
that's true. I think he was still like on the threshold when that happened.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, great. The man takes down your information. He obviously knows who you are. He basically he gets the sense that you guys were kind of like good Samaritans that just happened to be giving aid, and so he thanks you. By the time the fire's put out, it's kind of in the early hours of the morning, and people are just like collapsed on the pavement or on the stone road in front of this place, just like panting and breathing and trying to stay awake. It's just been a big night of fighting this fire, and that's kind of where this part of the situation ends. Theo, is there something that you wanted to do with the bandit captain guy, with that body, or are you just going to kind of hand it over to the authorities?
First, I'm going to frisk him for anything useful.
Okay. Let's see. Roll an investigation check first. And then the other question I have is, are you trying to be kind of sneaky about it, or you don't mind if anybody sees you doing this?
Just surreptitious, because he's legitimately looking for, any identifying marks or anything.
Okay. You do find let's see. You don't find any identifying marks other than he's got some scars on his face. He's bald. No visible like tattoos or piercings or any insignias on his clothing. He seems to be relatively well dressed, but not, it's not rags, but it's like, nicer working clothes. He also has 14 gold and 32 silver on him in a small coin purse. And let's see, what kind of a weapon did he have? He was fighting with he has a scimitar that looks okay, nothing too fancy, and he's got a dagger that looks okay. Other than that, he doesn't have a whole lot of information on his body that indicates any sort of affiliation with anything.
That would be too convenient. And that otherwise, at that point, he's just gonna, let it go and just make sure the captain guard was. This was the man in charge who actually was trying to hold the first mate hostage at one point. So, well, he's dead. Maybe help. I'm gonna go pass out some water. And Theo, in fact, grabs a bucket of drinkable water, uses prestidigitation to make it sweet like lemonade, and starts handing it out to the exhausted people.
Nice. All right. Let's see. At this point, some naval men come. Some of the Keelan Navy members show up to help Mylar off to the Myrmidon for. They have a medic aboard the Myrmidon that can help him. So they come and retrieve him, and he's barely conscious. You know, a combination of being just hammered, and then having lost so much blood, he's slipping in and out of conscious. Although he will, it does appear as when he leaves you and he leaves the scene that he will live. At that point, it is, you know, the sun is starting to poke up over the horizon, and just a dim light is cast on the cloudless sky, and the town of Saltmarsh breathes a heavy sigh of relief, as this fire could have easily spread to other buildings on the wharf district and caused some serious damage.
Theo at that point is going to walk up to hopefully everyone's assembled and just go, that evening did not go the way I thought it would go.
Yeah, no shit.
So,
Definitely think we could have handled that differently.
I mean, how do you think we're going to handle the part where they were kidnapping the first mate we just made a deal with?
Well, I mean, we could have just followed him in.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, at the moment, I thought it would probably be better to stop them.
Yes, you're right. I mean, hindsight's always 2019, but
My
That's
intention was
a
to
joke.
my intention was for you guys to capture that guy I sent the other direction, but apparently he didn't make it out.
Why didn't you? But he was right by a door. Why didn't you take him with you?
Well, I didn't want him on my back while I went after that other guy, and then it turned out that the guard was swarming that other guy already, and I didn't even need to leave or tell him to do that. So,
Okay,
anyways, what do we
fun
do?
on that.
Now we know Kreb was up to something.
Yes, so that brings up a very interesting question. I'm very exhausted, of course. I'm sure everyone else is here, but how much sleep do we want Fred to have on this?
Well, I mean, I assume we're all. Are we kind of off speaking together right now?
That had been my intent, yes.
All right.
Hope so.
yeah, we want to definitely not have any of onlookers listening to us. I'll just lift my cloak up and just raise it up over everyone.
Ooh,
Get in my cloak, guys. They can't see us. They can't hear us.
it's just a cloak. You couldn't network your offload.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's just a cloak. Oh man, thinking like I'm 5.
It's okay. I like where your head's at.
Guys, we need to get back to the inn, and I need to get some rest.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
Should we go see Kreb in the morning then, or when after a rest?
Yeah, we take a I don't know, 6-8 hours, and then
No.
I mean,
There-
maybe we go see him now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest also. There was one guy that did get away, the one that shot Crack.
Yes,
no.
and I'm not sure if he's working for Kreb or not. I think he might be working for the people that Kreb was working for, which means if we don't see Kreb now, we might just find the corpse, which I'm kind of okay with, but I feel like we want to know more of what's going on.
well, before
Well,
we
if it-
do that, does anyone have like bandages or anything? I don't know
Yeah,
about you guys, but I'm
How hurt
I'm
is
hurting.
everybody?
I'm fine.
I'm all right, but you know, I understand if some people can't keep. going.
I'm at like half speed.
Let's
Okay.
let's sit down, take a breather, a short rest, and then go get right to Kreb, eh?
Well, here's another option. Maybe we don't go after Kreb. And this could be slightly more dangerous for us, but maybe we let them play their hand again. Whoever they are.
Huh.
You
Maybe
or
you
why?
know, maybe we at least, I mean, obviously I think we at least need to talk to the Navy. Talk to the Navy. We can be as truthful or as editing of that content as we like, but maybe we see what happens.
Or
If Kreb wants to come after us, Kreb comes after us. We deal with it then, but then we're on a better footing than going after Kreb in the middle of town when we're the only ones without proof.
you know, or we tell the town guard that they were all Krebs men.
But then we have to explain how we know that. And that
That's
might
true.
be a little weird.
Well, I think we could explain that to the captain, Eleander.
Yeah, I mean, we were only hired to make sure he made it to the docks, right?
Well,
we weren't party.
The whole purpose of Theo going and hanging out with Kreb in the first place was to get an in so we could get more information on what happened to Dralian.
I think all this conversation is good, but if we are not immediately going to go whoop someone's ass over potentially whooping our ass, I think we should all go get some sleep and then come back to this.
Right.
I don't think we should be far apart just in case Krebs' men, come after us.
Well, do we want to stay at the snapping line?
We should all move to one hotel. No.
The snapping line or the goat?
Well, here's my thought on that question. If we're gonna gather in one place, obviously this isn't a big town. Do we want to give them more room, aka the Wicker Goat, or do we want to have more possible collateral, aka the snapping line?
The way you say that, I think you're
Or-
leaning towards the goat.
We could go out into the middle of the field, north of the Pool Watch Tower, and set up our own makeshift camp. And then we're isolated. Nobody can sneak up on us. We can get a good rest with somebody on watch. And the day's
wooded
coming
area?
up. We're at
How about those woods on the north side of the river, or whatever fucking
East.
side that?
you know what? I'm into it.
Neutralian's
Let's
farm.
do it.
Yeah. Oh, there's the what you call it. Yeah, the east side. I couldn't see the compass rose.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the woods is a better option. If that's our concern. Are they gonna? But question is are they gonna come after us right away?
I
don't
think
know.
we are overthinking this.
Yeah. I say
So,
I'd be open to either one. I can sleep outdoors. I don't mind. Yeah, why don't we go somewhere where they don't expect us?
okay. Let's go camping. I'd like to drop by the snapping line for just a moment on the way by, okay?
Okay, cool. Yeah, grab like 4 to-go beers.
I will be sure to do that.
Nice.
Growler.
All right. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the four of you make your way to past the snapping line, and what do you want to do there, Theo?
Theo is going to duck in, go upstairs to the room that he shares with Sales. Just open the door. I assume she is passed out, half drunk on the bed. Just wake her ass up and go, hi. Good news.
Theo.
No one's dead. That's us.
Oh,
Bad
that
news.
is great news.
Bad news. Working with Kreb went south. They tried to kill the first mate of a ship in the Navy. We just probably crossed him. There's a sniper on the loose, and that's before we get into the vampire.
Ooh. Wow,
Here's
that's a
20
lot
more
to that's a lot to unpack.
You
Right
have
after
no idea.
you woke me up. I'm gonna have to think on this, but they didn't follow you here, did they?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
Here's 20 gold.
Mhm.
How about you go up to the Wicker Goat and treat yourself to the nice rooms for a couple of nights?
Mhm.
I'll catch up with you after we figure out what the hell we're doing.
Fair. All right, be careful, would you please?
Hey, I only recently escaped a burning building and
We just
assassin.
got here. We've only been here less than a week.
It's only been 4 days.
We don't want to wear out our welcome yet.
Well, the good news is I'm in really good with some very important people. So I think technically we're coming out of this heroes.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
but
so
I'm
proud
not
of
going
you.
to play that card yet. I'm proud of me too.
You make a great hero.
You are still drunk.
All right, get going.
All right, see you soon.
Bye.
And back out.
She just lays in bed for a minute after you close the door, looking out the window. She's just kind of shaking her head for a minute, and then she kind of goes back to sleep. All right.
We'll come out with 4S. Here you go, boys. No claw wine.
Actually, there's the bar, and the whole place is closed at this point. I mean, it's like 4:30 in the morning. So you could, if you wanted to, snatch a couple beers. But there's nobody there to pour beers or anything like that.
Theo snatches 4 beers, leaves a gold on the cask, and then comes out front.
Got it.
Right, here you go. Paid for. Let's go.
Okay.
Nice.
So where are you guys headed?
I think we're headed to the east side of the Kingfisher River, to the north of the Drowning Estate, into those woods. We're gonna set up a camp in there.
Sure. All right.
While we're doing that, while we're moving, I'm gonna make a perception check just to make sure we're not being followed.
All right. Roll a perception check. You kind of drop back a little bit as the team is walking down the road, and you kind of duck into the shadows and pause for a bit, look around, and you don't get the sense that there's anybody following you.
Okay.
And then you continue on your way up the road. It passes the large widening of the Kingfisher River, going past the fields, which have, as you remember, been freshly planted behind the Solmore house. And there's a small little cabin on the edge of the fields, and it doesn't look like there's anybody stirring yet, but you do see some chickens and some farm animals, some pigs that have started to rouse themselves from a night's sleep, and you hear a rooster crowing as you make your way towards the grove. And weary and feeling, I think you probably feel pretty good that you helped put the fire out, but probably wondering what it all means and why that happened the way it did. You make your way into the woods. I don't know, how deep into the woods do you want to go?
I would say, I mean, this isn't a very large wood. Obviously,
It's not,
right?
but it might make a difference.
Yeah, maybe towards the
Right
middle.
in the dead center.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that any of us would be able to get exactly to the dead center, but
If there's going to be a monster hiding in here, it's going to be in the center. Let's go.
right. And then they had to fight a troll to make
Of course.
fucking trolls. God damn it.
All right,
Not
so
gonna
you
lie, I'll
do
believe.
your best to get it in a good ways so that you're fully obscured, and you, what do you do when you get there? You kind of lay down. Do you guys have like your gear and stuff like that?
Theo definitely picked those up.
Yeah, Theo would have his stuff. What about the rest of you guys?
Yeah.
I got my bag of holding, so
Okay.
I'll just climb into that.
Okay, so easy enough. You guys are able to make a rudimentary camp in the forest there, the small grove of trees that are on the top of the hill, and you're able to very quickly fall asleep, unless someone wants to stand watch.
Theo will do at least. I thought the plan was to do watches, but Theo will definitely do first.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do watches.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see here. Theo, go ahead and roll a perception check for the first watch.
Oh shit! There's raccoons.
Nice.
You see trees.
Yeah, there's a gentle breeze that blows up over the town of Saltmarsh off of the Azure Sea and up onto this hill. The tips of the trees are swaying, and it's got this really serene vibe. There are seagulls that start up their morning clatter, squawking and cawing as they come off their roosts in the trees and start to fly up over the grove, kind of spiraling a little bit. And then you kind of lose the sight of them because you can't really see through the canopy that well. But you do see these little streaks of white fluttering as it flies away from the grove towards the coastline. Pretty loud, and yep. The sun starts to come up as you're taking your watch, and other than little forest creatures that scurry about, you don't have any other notable detections during your watch.
Adorable forest creatures. During his watch, Theo is going to pull out that holy symbol to Heronius that he has now. He's just going to regard that for a long, long time before finally putting that away after what he assumes has been an hour or two, and is going to wake up the only person next to him on the board, so that's the only other person in camp, and that's Rhunar.
Okay. Rhunar, you wake from your short bit of sleep to take your watch, and go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So very similar. You don't. There isn't anybody lurking in the woods that you are able to see. There's. You start to feel more relaxed as you come down off of this sort of amped feeling after this battle. You can take some time and sort of, attend to the. I think you had just a couple of wounds. You can tend to your wounds and you kind of hang out.
Scratch.
Yep. Yeah. You didn't take much damage. But yeah, the rest of the night, throughout the rest of your watches, goes pretty uneventful. It's a little strange because it's daylight, but this grove sheds a nice shadow, and it's cool, and it smells earthy, and it just smells alive, and you get a really nice full long rest.
Hooray,
All right.
rest.
Yes, my guy's back to full.
Dave,
I have my key points back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll need to roll a d20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's right. Roll a d20.
Come on.
Yeah, you're okay. Yep. During your watch, you probably pull your journal out and page through it, maybe even do some scribbling, but it doesn't keep you up. And so, just a couple of things out of character, out of immersion, is that I'm thinking that the jump from 5th to 6th level here for you guys is pretty imminent, but the way that because it's somewhat significant for a couple of you, or actually rather significant, it will take a bit of some downtime, to happen. It's not like you just wake up and you're, oh my god, I'm so much more powerful right now.
Oh, look at the size of my muscles.
Yep. So just keep that in mind. Either you can do that whenever you want, but depending on how you want to progress through the options that are laid out in front of you, that can kind of give you some idea of how you want to do it. You do have the Dwarven Mine option that you had mentioned you were going to follow up on, and then the only other sort of imminent quest option is the Sawajin mission for the Navy, which they said would be 2 to 3 days before they'd be able to sit down with you again. So I'll leave it to you guys to kind of decide what you want to do.
Yeah. So.
And then you've got the Krebs thing. Obviously, there's a loose end there.
Right.
That Krebs mess.
Yep, the Krebs cycle.
All right, so if we're all waking up, let's talk about this. What do you guys think? What do you want to do?
I think we at least need to go check on on Mylar.
I think that would be wise.
I think the part of me used to doing things in a certain way thinks that heading north to deal with the Dwarven Mine for a day or two is not a bad thing to do, just to, as they say, let the heat die down. That's just a suggestion.
Right. I mean, Mylar will know who pulled him out of there.
Well, I think it's
But
I mean, you're
with
not
that
wrong,
said-
but I think it would be a nice show of good faith
right.
to follow up on that. And we don't have to do much, I don't think. Just show
Make
our
sure he's
face,
okay.
inquire, let them know we're still interested in this Sawajin thing. Take off for a couple of days.
Take a vacation. Deal with some undead.
Some vacation, kill
Yeah.
some skeletons, normal
Yeah.
shit.
You know, as you do.
I still think, you know, I mean, now that we've double crossed him,
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about giving Kreb too much time.
yeah, I'd say why don't we just go? I mean, maybe this is just totally off the. This is maybe I'm going off the rails here, but like, Krebs, big dude, was crack, right? And we
Yeah.
made very short work of him. Well, not to mention we pretty much we cleared that building with ease.
Yeah.
He is going to be reeling from not only that and his failed attempt at kidnapping a thing, but if we just come clean to the Navy and tell them like, hey, one of our guys was hired, you know, we're trying to look into this other thing, and we're just totally forthcoming, and then we tell them, hey, Krebs, the guy behind the attempted, not only could we get the Navy on our backs, like, because we not only have uncovered the plot that caused their first mate to be kidnapped, but in addition to that, we are basically getting the whole entire town behind us in you know, interrogating Kreb for free, basically.
Use the Navy to smoke out Kreb.
Yeah, and then we can ask Kreb all the questions we want, and
Right.
we have the Navy at our back.
We could also do that with the Town's Guard as well.
Yep.
We should probably do it with both.
Yeah,
Because-
we could get Fireborn with us when we
Right.
go talk to the Navy.
So then we go find the captain.
Because they
Then
don't
we
want
go talk
this.
to the
They
Navy.
don't want this happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, we say, hey, we're still interested in this Sahagwin thing, but we have to go take care of these mines because like we're great like that.
Right. Okay.
But when we return, we'll help you with the Sahagwin, but you leave. But make sure you have Kreb because we want him so we can talk to him.
Oh, we're gonna like leave it up to the Navy to go get Kreb?
Well, we can leave it to the Navy, or we can do it ourselves. But regardless, as long as we get a hold of Kreb at some point, you know, we can leave town, we can come back. As long as I get to talk to him, I want to know what he knows.
I think, as much as I really don't trust either the military or the town council, I'm not going to lie. I think you hit on a very important point there, which is if we roll in and pick up Kreb, we come off looking like maybe we're a problem. But if we get the guard or the Navy to do it, we're law-abiding citizens.
Right.
So I'm supporting what you said.
All right. I mean, if you guys are down, I personally think this is our best course of action.
So, just to get it straight, you want to go to the Navy, or and then
With
tell
the
them
town
what
guard.
So first we go to Eliander, then we go to the Navy.
okay, and discuss and see where they want to go from there.
Yep. Go ahead.
Whether that be go get Kreb, everybody, or have them go get Kreb, we're okay with that.
Either way, it puts them between Kreb and us.
Yes.
Okay. I'm all right with that. Let's go do that.
Let's go. We're near the guard tower. Who knew?
I like it.
I think we still have to go the long way, probably. I don't know if
What?
we
You
can,
never.
We can fjord it.
can we get across the river there?
Yeah, you guys can certainly try.
No,
I don't
had
like it
two
when you put it like that.
We
We're
ran
going
back
around.
right across the river.
You guys want to try to go across the river?
Nope.
Well, one person is a straight badass, and the other person has boots of
Boots of
springing and striding.
Yeah, exactly.
If can I just tell whether the river is deep here?
Roll a nature check.
A survival check?
Nature.
All right.
It's certainly powered by some kind of water.
Yeah,
It's
so
definitely watery.
in the spot that you're standing overlooking the muddy banks of the Kingfisher, you can see that the water moves pretty fast here. You're not sure how deep it is. You can see boulders and rocks below the surface in some parts, but in the very middle of the flow, you can't see any rocks or anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get all muddy. Let's go the long way.
That's the reasoning.
He's got to keep those boots clean.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair. Let's go.
All right, so the four of you make your way to the Watch Tower and to seek an audience with Eleander Fireborn. And when you approach the Watch Tower, there's a lot of activity. Town's guard coming and going from the tower itself. You see a man who's got some very stout-looking studded leather armor. He's carrying a large mace, and he kind of looks over at you and says, "What business do you have here at the watch?"
My name's Rhunar Deg. I was
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
if I could speak with Captain Fireborn.
"Rhunar Deg, you say? Heard about what you did out there at the Point of Rocks the other night. Good show.
Oh, thank you.
Eleander, you say you're looking for?
Yeah. Is the captain around?
Indeed. Follow me." And he guides the four of you into a relatively modest-looking, I guess you could call it sort of like the command center of the guards, the Watch Tower, excuse me, the town's guards headquarters. And you see Eleander right away, and he's sort of standing hunched over this large wooden table. And on the other side of the table, there's a man sitting. As you sort of shift your gaze and look towards this guy past Eleander, you can see that he is dressed as a naval officer. And as you come in, a lot of the people just kind of turn to look at you. And
Well, this is convenient.
Eleander kind of turns and looks and says, just the men we wanted to see. We looked for you at the Wicker Goat, but we're unable to find you. Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, yes.
If you could help us understand just a little bit about what happened down there at the wharf last night, that would be very helpful for both the town guard's investigation as well as the naval assessment. Let me introduce you to Lieutenant Jalis Venn, and the man who he's clean shaven. He's got a blonde ponytail. He's got a leather helmet that he's kind of holding under his arm. He stands up to greet you, and he says, "Yes, please, it'd be nice if you could clear up a few details for us, gentlemen. We know that you did a good deed in helping put the fires out, but there's still some questions that we have in terms of the timeline of last night's conflict."
Theo is going to find a wall to hold up.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn to Fireborn and say, is it okay to address the Dralian matter in front of everyone here?
Dralian, is it pertinent to the fire last night?
In a way. Roundabout way.
Well, then yes.
Well, in our capacity to look into the Dralian matter, we had one of our members, one of our group, made contact with Kreb Shankar at the Empty Net. Under the guise of assisting him with a somewhat, a job.
Clandestine.
Yeah, clandestine sort of job. The specifics weren't given to him at the time.
They kind of look over at Theo, who's kind of holding up the wall.
Yeah.
Don't look at
Turns
me
out
like that.
our
What kind
intention-
of job was this?
Well, we didn't know what the job was going to entail until it happened. So basically, our intention was to follow our man, find out what they were up to. If it was something, not so serious, you know, we'd probably let it slide as a way to get in with Kreb and see what he knew about our Drellian matter. But we found out as events progressed that they actually hired him to help kidnap your first officer. At that point, when we saw the Krebs men move to take the first, they hit him over the head, dragged him into a building. My men and I started to attack them at that point. The fight ensued, moved inside the warehouse, and sometime during the fight, a brazier or a torch or something must have got knocked over, and that's how the fire was started.
Interesting sequence of events. Tell me any insight as to what the goal of this abduction might have been.
Well, I was hoping the Navy might be able to help shed light on that. Is there any reason why someone would want to kidnap your first officer?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm more concerned about the fact that I have an officer who has let down his guard to that significant level where he was taken advantage of. Thankfully, we had you and your team there. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened to Myler. He will certainly be questioned when he is feeling up to it. We will get to the bottom of that, and that's an internal matter, of course.
If I may.
Yes.
There's one detail of last night that I believe stands out as kind of important. There was the individual we followed in, a half-orc fellow named Crack. The individuals who appeared to be doing the actual kidnapping, the corpse of which their leader we brought out of the fire.
Yes.
And then there was a third party present, or an individual who seemed to be. I did not get a look at them. They were a cowled figure with a crossbow. I say this is important because as the fight got hot and heavy, they, in fact, literally while the leader of these thugs was trying to negotiate a surrender, this individual shot your first officer in the chest out of nowhere. And then promptly turned on Krebs' man and downed him as well. So...
Did you get a look at this individual?
I just know that they were cowled and very good at what they did. It seems like the type of thing that either is out of Krebs' what is the way to say?
Wheelhouse.
Yes. Or Kreb
I've heard that phrase used once or twice.
It sounds accurate. Or Kreb is far more capable than anyone was thinking, but I wager it's the former. So there may be other players at play that may have been the root cause of this particular sequence of events.
So this may or may not be the first time that the rest of the team has heard of this third party as well.
Yep,
I don't know
this
if
is the first I've heard of it.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know who shot the guy, but I know that a bolt appeared in the guy's chest.
That's correct.
I was standing
you were
right
standing.
there when it happened.
Exactly. Yep.
So that would explain the bolt.
Irin, Theo, and Byron. I rolled a d20 there, and as Rhunar was explaining things, you would have noticed at the mention of Drallian's name that Lieutenant Jalis Venn, the naval officer, sort of looked a little bit more interested momentarily. And we'll just leave that at that for the moment.
Damn it! Why did I have to switch characters?
Is there? So you believe that Kreb was behind the original abduction plot? Is that correct, Rhunar?
I believe Kreb was.
Yeah.
Theo,
I mean,
Rhunar?
His men were definitely involved, so I don't know if he was acting as a middleman or if he was the one that wanted the naval officer himself.
Well, we identified the remains of some of the men that you dispatched last night, and they are known associates of Kreb. We have sent a team to the empty net to apprehend Kreb, and they are currently en route. So hopefully we will be able to get information straight from Kreb.
I would like to speak with Kreb.
He was not
when
there
he's apprehended.
this early this morning when we sent our team, so they are staking the place out, waiting for him to return.
If he shows up alive, it would be very telling to what is going on.
Yes, he would have some answers for us, I can only assume. Knowing Kreb for as long as I have, his allegiance is to the one with the most coin in their pocket, if you will.
Which brings up a question I just wanted to ask. Is kidnapping naval officers off the street normally in his wheelhouse?
It seems way above his normal.
Right. That's what we figured.
Yes.
Oh, good. Just very good. And out of Theo's just going to pull out a pipe, start packing it with tobacco.
The naval officer kind of looks around and says, "We have seen this sort of thing in other ports of call where officers are mugged, robbed, etc. But an abduction, as you're speaking of, seems a bit strange, and certainly a grave cause for concern given the potential conflicts that we have, not only with this Sawajin lair, but also the growing presence of the Sea Princess in the area."
What if it's related to those priests?
The priests of Abbey Isle.
Yeah.
Did no one pass on our warning? No one passed on our warning.
No,
Yeah,
we passed.
fair
We
enough.
talked to somebody when they were here before.
Yes, we talked to the first mate, Mylar.
We talked to Mylor.
So
about
you've
it.
met with Mylar before this.
Once before.
Yeah, a few days back
Okay.
after we had returned from an excursion to the Abbey Isle.
Jalis looks over at Eleander and says, "I was informed that the Red Crows had dispatched the clerics of Abbey Isle and had cleaned them out."
Well, they cleaned them out, but we did the front work.
We did
Yes, that is true, says Eleander. Well, certainly we will be speaking with the first mate when he is able to answer our questions. He is recovering now, thanks to you, and we hope that this issue will be resolved shortly. Certainly we will be on heightened alert, not only on our own ships in port, but also when we are on land conducting business. Is there anything else that you can think of, gentlemen, that you want to share about last night? Troubles me, this third party situation. Keep your eyes peeled. This may be connected to
Things.
Obrig Dralian, perhaps?
perhaps.
Is there any connection between Mylor and Obrig that you know of,
Well,
Lieutenant?
around, yeah.
I am not very familiar with this Aubrek that you speak of. I know that he was murdered just a few days ago, but I don't know much about who he is or what his connection might be.
Dave, real quick aside, how long has it been since, like, taking the job for the Abbey Isle?
Oof, I would say that it's been. Let me do
That
some
job
quick
ended
thinking.
up being like, what, 3-4 days maybe because of the
It was.
whole dying thing?
It's been. This is the fourth morning since you returned.
Since returning. Okay.
Yep.
So it's been 8 days since we took that, or since you guys took that.
Yeah.
Give or
we-
take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit
it's
happens
been
fast in Saltmarsh,
Just over a
boys.
week. You guys have done quite a. You packed a lot in.
Hey, I'm surprised the town is still here at this point.
I'm surprised we didn't burn down the whole town last night. I guess I can't think of anything else right now.
I don't necessarily feel comfortable enough bringing up the possibility of the Brotherhood, so I will not.
Theo is pointedly not saying that.
Yeah, and I will simply just say when Kreb is captured, we will speak with him.
Eleander looks at you and says, "Well, get in line, friends."
Well, we're gonna cut in line, my dear Fireborn. I've been brought here on a mission, and I think
Yes, you've been
there's
very
some
busy
way we
since
can
you
make this
arrived
work.
in Saltmarsh, haven't you?
Well, we saved a Navy man, and I think the least you can do is give us time with Kreb.
You'll be able to speak with him when that time comes.
Very good.
I will not let you tell me how to conduct my own investigation.
Oh, I understand.
Let's be clear
I'll
about
nod
that.
at Yeah,
In
that
the
makes sense.
meantime, we have taken a little bit of work helping out the Dwarven Mine to the north, so we will be out of everyone's hair for a day or two while you all sort out what needs to be sorted out with prep. Doesn't that sound wonderful, everyone? Theo just tries to defuse things.
Yes, very
Byron's
good.
gonna just look pissed. Just looks angry.
Yeah, if you need to contact us, you should be able to contact us through the people at the mine.
Ah, very good. You're going to help out Manistrid. That's fantastic news.
Yes.
Well, gentlemen, certainly if we have more questions for you, and he looks at all of you quickly in unison, we'll be reaching out. Thank you for what you've done.
Your disposal.
All right, we should leave, guys. I'm just gonna walk out the door.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You guys exit the Hula Watch Tower, and you're back in the beautiful bluebird sky day of Saltmarsh.
Is anyone here? Do any of us know how to track? Or are any of us trackers?
Nope.
Would that be through
No.
eyeball?
Yes.
You know, I have some skill in that area.
I think we should find Kreb first.
I thought we literally just said that's what we didn't want to do.
Well, that was before I feel like they're not gonna let us talk to him.
I mean, we don't have a dog in that game. We're just guys caught between two rocks.
I wonder who's watching the bar while Kreb is gone.
Somebody who probably doesn't want it to burn down. I'm gonna make like a match lighting gesture.
We had a plan. The plan was to go deal with the dwarves.
Yes. I'm letting my emotions get the best of me.
I think that's a rash idea that's only going to get us in actual trouble.
Yes, you're right.
And normally I am all for getting in the right kind of trouble, but we're not ready for that kind of trouble yet.
I'm just sick of loose ends.
As a lawful neutral character,
I will point out
I will bow to the will of the authorities on this one.
the life is nothing but loose ends, my friends.
Yeah, perhaps in hindsight it might have been better to go after Kreb last night, but, you know. At the same time, you know, this way we don't have to put our necks on the line trying to get him.
You're right.
Yeah, you guys have helped to make Saltmarsh a pretty uncomfortable place for Kreb right now, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's find this.
He just wanted to dip his toe, you know, in abductions and kidnappings. You know, he was just looking to diversify his business model, and you guys came along and burned him out.
Still not done.
We have not spoken with Manasrid. Is that correct?
No,
Well,
we have.
we did yesterday.
No, we
Oh,
did.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact at the mine. We could go now and go
Oh,
take care of
okay.
the problem.
Yeah, maybe let's do that.
Let's just go. Let's stick to that plan. I say.
All right.
I'm sorry you were disappointed, my friend. I will make you a lovely dinner to make up for it.
Before we leave town, can we do one more thing here in Saltmarsh? And let me run off and do something real quick.
We will wait for you at the temple.
I think that's a great idea.
Don't get arrested.
That's the right way.
I will not get arrested.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I would go collect my things.
Yeah.
Pay out any tab I have at the Wicker Goat.
We'll meet up at the temple.
Temple of Broken.
I'm gonna go with Irin.
You're just going
gather your
straight to
things.
the temple because he's
Yeah.
ready to go.
Okay, so let's start with Byron. Byron, what did you want to do, buddy?
All right. So I'm not sure if I still can do this, but in my background, I have that under places or whatever it's called. Let me find it.
Friends in low places.
Yeah, friends in low places. But could I potentially seek out maybe one or two of those guys that I know?
Yeah, is that somewhere? Remind me where that's listed on your character sheet. I just want to take a peek at it.
It is under.
Probably description. It's part of his background.
Yeah, it's background. Shipwright, low places.
Shipwright. I don't know why I don't see it.
It's on my core sheet. It says Swashbuckler, Rogue, Fighter 1, background, Shipwright, and then it says low places, and then it has a description after it.
Yeah, I can't read that. Hold on.
I just copy pasted it to you.
Okay, thanks. All right. So what do you want? Where do you want to seek out this potential contact?
I was thinking probably kind of close to Crabber's Cove, someplace in this area. Kind of more the rundown areas. I have a feeling that's probably where they're going to be operating more frequently.
Sorry, do a ping again for me. Okay.
Somewhere around here.
Sure. All right. So so you head down to the docks, and you see there's a couple of fishing boats that have just come back in from fishing, and you can see that some of them have quite a bountiful harvest. There are 2 boats on this dock here. There's a couple of boats on this dock here. No boats on this dock here, but there are some people that are moving out around that building. There's a man sitting out on a rocking chair out in front of that building. Actually, it's this right here, this blue, kind of bluish gray building.
Okay.
And there are, just like I said, some fishermen here, and at these docks here.
All right. Do I recognize the guy in the rocking chair? Or maybe I should just maybe I'll use my thieves' cant. And try and like speak underworld to him or something, and be like,
Yeah, you could use it to sort of like, you could kind of hail or like say something to people in passing that only other smugglers and thieves would potentially understand as sort of a greeting.
okay, yeah, that's what I'll go with. I'll say, like, kind of the same thing I said to the girl in the bar at Krebs. Like, are we friends?
Okay.
And thieves' cant at him.
He's kind of rocking there, smoking a pipe, and he kind of looks out at you and says, he says the same thing back to you.
And then I'll say in thieves' cant, with like a little bit of regular common speak, like I'm looking for someone, and then I'll just say Kreb.
Looking for Kreb, huh?
I've got money.
Well, come on up.
All right, I'll walk up to him.
Says, I heard about what happened last night down at the docks. You're gonna have a hard time finding Kreb.
Well, I'm not planning on finding him myself.
I heard I heard the town guard went out to apprehend him this morning.
Well, let's just say they find him first. That's fine, and I'll figure something else out. But let's say you find him first. I've got 150 gold in it for you.
Keep your money in your pocket, friend.
I've got 200
I'm not
gold
interested
in it for you.
I'm not interested in getting involved in this sort of thing, but what I can tell you is that there ain't too many places for a man to hide in Saltmarsh. He's done it to himself. They're gonna find him. They're gonna find him fast. Now, I did hear that there was some folks potentially gone missing out at the end of the road out there at Crabber's Cove. A lot of rundown shacks out there. I suppose if I was trying to escape my normal haunts, I'd probably head out there and try to find a place to hunker down until I could mount a better escape. Of course, he could have just left town altogether. I reckon the town's guard will scoop him up pretty fast, though. He ain't too smart, obviously. What do you need to find him for anyways, friend?
Well, I just want more information on Albrecht Drallion, and I think he has some.
Drallion?
I don't know why I think he has some, but I think he has some.
Getting yourself mixed up in some of the local politics, huh?
No, it's nothing to do with the local politics. Albrecht Drallion is a friend. Well,
personal matter. Sometimes they
maybe
say
not
that
a friend.
personal matters are even worse than the political ones. Just be careful that you don't get too intertwined with what's going on around here. Keep your options open.
Well, I have 150 gold for you then, if you can find me some information on Albrecht Drallion's murder.
Like I said,
at least
friend,
we could do that.
I ain't interested in getting involved. I just watch. I just keep an eye on things, and it's about all I'm interested in doing. I like to keep a low profile, if you know what I'm saying. If I hear anything, you're more than welcome to stop back. Don't be bringing any of your friends by here, especially that Rhunar Deg. I know he's cozied up pretty good with the captain of the town guard. I ain't interested in any of that heat.
Well, I won't bring anyone by, but I'm expecting the next time we speak, maybe I can convince you to discuss this further with me.
Like I said, friend, I'll keep my ears open, but
I appreciate that
I ain't
very
one to
much.
stick my nose in other people's business.
You know what? I will just take out 25 gold, and I'll just drop it at the foot of his porch, and I'll say, I don't know. I'll just drop it on the foot of his porch, and I'll just walk off.
Okay, he doesn't say anything, or he doesn't even move from his chair. He just
I'm cool with that.
Smoking. All right.
All right, I'm heading to the Temple of Procan after that.
Okay. Theo, you make it to the temple long before the rest of the group, it seems like. Remind me, Irin, what were you doing? Oh yeah, you and Rhunar went to gather your stuff.
Yeah, gather our stuff, pay out any tab we might have at the goat.
I think all you and Rhunar have left is the last night's pay for the room that you didn't use, but your stuff was there.
Yeah.
So that would have been 8 silver apiece.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to do, or is that it? Just kind of quick, get that done, gather your stuff.
Theo is painstakingly constructing a statue of Farendir.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think. Yeah,
Hold on a
I
second,
think
Theo.
I
We'll
would-
come to you in a sec.
I think I would probably swing through the anvil.
Okay.
Because I had mentioned to her when I was there last that we might be leaving town for a bit, and
Yes.
I told her that once I found out, I would let her know.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, you stop by and she's there, and so is her son. And they greet you, and you come in, and she stops working the forge momentarily to have a conversation with you.
afternoon. Yeah. Do you want to role play it out, or?
What do you want to just kind of check in and let them know that you'll be back?
Yeah, just hey, we're gonna go. How about the miners for a day, two, and then we'll be back, and I'll bash out some stuff for you.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. That's great. We'll be safe, and we'll see you when you get back. We'll be here.
Awesome.
And the little boy kind of tugs on your arm. He's like, "Hey, can I show you something?"
Yeah.
And he seems pretty excited, and he pulls this box out, and he opens it up, and your blade is in there, and it's been wrapped with this really well cut leather straps around the hilt. And it's not done, but you can tell that he's been putting a lot of effort into it.
It looks good.
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'll probably have it done for you when you get here, when you get back.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Well, be safe.
Yeah.
All right.
You too. Things are getting a little weird in town.
Yeah, that big old fire last night.
Well, it's something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should be going.
All right. You head up on your way towards the temple. Now, Theo, you got there quite a bit before everybody else because you just kind of went straight there. Was there anything that you wanted to do on the way or when you got there?
No, nothing specific. He thinks everyone's going to take like 5 minutes. So by the time everyone actually gets there, he's like smoked through a pipe. He's probably actually built like a little, pillar of stones out of boredom. There's nothing specific I was looking to do.
Okay. As you're smoking, you see a familiar robed figure that walks out of the temple towards you and says, "Master Theo, it's fortuitous to see you here, sir."
That doesn't sound good at all.
Yes, there's been a development that I think that you should be aware of.
Oh no.
No. Oh no.
Yes, do you have time to, it's rather important.
Yes, I do.
Follow me, and he guides you back to the cemetery.
Now.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
And he brings you over to where you laid to rest your friend.
Wait, didn't we dismember him before we buried him?
No.
Only days before. And he says, "Yes, well, the very first night of his internment here in the cemetery, we came out the next day, and it was reported that the grave had been robbed. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that we had potentially buried him with any items of value, and this has not happened here at the Saltmarsh Cemetery for some time, but I thought it was only fair to make sure that you were aware of the fact that your companion's gravesite had been desecrated in this manner. They even took the body. And
You just
laying in front of you is it looks like someone dug the body up.
It's okay.
I apologize.
Okay. You could not have expected anything like this. I appreciate you letting me know. And do you have anything to drink in the temple?
Drink, yes, of course. We've got some water if you're parched.
No. Drink.
you mean liquor?
Yeah.
I'm afraid not. I don't have any liquor myself. Some of the other priests may.
You know what? That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to go wait for my friends, and if we need to do anything or provide any more funds in his name anyway, we will let you know. You just have yourself a great rest of your day.
Thank you for your understanding, sir. You're too kind.
Yes, I am. You're welcome. And he just turns and walks right back out to where he was.
He just kind of watches you walk away. As you get back to the promontory overlooking the ocean in front of the temple, and your friends arrive, and the four of you are reunited.
Right. So, everyone, hello. Let's start walking, and I have literally the worst possible thing to tell you. Come on. It's going to be great.
And with that, let's take a 10-minute break. Refresh our beverages, hit the head at whatever you need to do, and we'll come back at, let's say, 8:47.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right. All right, let's jump back into this. You have just set off, actually, from I was going to say South Park. You've just set off from Saltmarsh, headed east out of the port, away from the Kingfisher River, and along the cliffs that look out over the Azure Sea. Again, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The birds, there's gulls that kind of fly up high above you and flying out to the sea. And you can just look out at this vast, vast body of water that's on your right as you're walking on this cliff, and it's just a beautiful sight to behold. It kind of gives you a little bit of perspective on how tiny you are in this great big world.
Isn't it beautiful out there, guys? It's really nice, peaceful, and gorgeous. Unlike what I am about to say out loud.
Yeah, what's going on? You have a look on your face.
So guess who's not in their grave?
What?
Who?
Arendir's corpse is
Rack?
missing.
Oh, Farendir. Wait, that's not good.
No, it's not. That
was your bard, right?
Yeah, it was a friend of ours.
He was our friend that was killed by the vampire.
Which means either A, the vampire came back and dug him up for nefarious reasons, or he rose of his own accord, one of the children of the night.
What? That happens?
Maybe? I don't know. I assume it's possible.
He was buried in consecrated ground.
So maybe the vampire came back for it.
Would the vampire be able to enter a temple like this?
And it's just a graveyard. It's outside of it.
I've only heard that two vampires can't fight on consecrated ground.
I don't know shit about vampires.
None of us. Wait a minute. Oh, Byron, our new friend. Do you know shit about vampires?
All I know is they're horrible.
Yeah, Byron, you can roll a history check if you want to see what you know about vampires.
I don't know.
I'm gonna do that.
Seems like it might tie in a little bit to your background.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, you've heard and read lore that describes the importance of consecrated ground and in fending off undead creatures of the night, such as vampires. You don't have any firsthand knowledge of their limits and their vulnerabilities and that sort of thing, but you've heard the the pretty standard stories. One thing that you do know is that they are able to create other undead, which are often considered to be vampire spawn, but sometimes they can even create more powerful vampires through a little bit of a longer process that you don't really remember much about.
Wow. I will relay this to the group. Yeah, he could be a vampire now, or a vampire spawn.
Do you know if there's how could we have prevented that from happening?
The consecrated ground sounds right.
Dismembering the body, you would know
Did
that.
you dismember the body?
No.
Oh.
We did.
Is that a thing?
I mean, I definitely would have done that.
The acolytes just like, wrapped them up. They just, got all that stuff ready for us, I guess.
Yeah, but then you just, you cut through that, and then you.
We didn't really tell anybody about the vampire thing.
Yeah.
Oh. It's all coming together now. Now I understand why that guy is still walking around.
Yeah.
And why the village isn't running around screaming.
Well, I mean, there's always the possibility that maybe somebody just thought he had some good stuff. But I don't know why they would have taken his whole body.
Yep.
I don't know who you pissed off.
So the real question is, do we stop and nose around for that more, or just kind of get going down the road?
Do we want to go look at his grave? Let's
I already
go.
did.
I mean,
You're right. Let's go, give it a thorough looking over. Go for it, guys.
I mean, maybe this is tied to the mine. I don't know. How long has he been dead?
3 days?
A day?
Oh,
Yeah, it's been like
Yeah,
2
maybe
days.
2 days, maybe 2 days, right, Dave? I don't know the.
He said- I thought it was like 4
been
days.
like no, it's been 2, 3. Yeah, this
He
is the
died the
fourth.
day
This
you
is the
came.
fourth morning, so it's been like almost 3 days.
oh, okay. Well, I don't entirely know how they come to be. I do know vampires can make lesser vampires, and vampires can, through a longer process, make just further more vampires. But I mean, I guess I have no personal experience. This is just what I've read in my research.
Do you want to look at the grave, gentlemen?
Sure. None of us know shit about vampires. I don't know what that's gonna do.
I say we just get out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
vampires
perfectly fine.
are not going to be a joyful, happy-go-lucky picnic in the park. I mean, unless we are for dinner.
I mean, if we're gonna be taking on vampires, we're gonna need like I don't know.
I definitely think holy
St.
water would be
Cuthbert
good.
dudes.
In fact, I'm going to pop into the Temple of Procan and just fill up a couple things of holy water.
We should do that just just as a precaution.
Okay, so were you guys walking and talking, or were you just? I was under the impression that you guys were leaving Saltmarsh already.
I guess I'm not
Yeah.
sure. If we were
That's-
walking, never
I was
mind.
also under that impression.
Yeah, you would
Okay,
have. You would probably
we're
have
gone.
to go back
Okay, that's fine.
to do
That
that.
seems like a lot of work. Let's say we're out of town.
Okay.
We'll hit the temple on the way back into town.
Yeah, and we'll get
Yeah.
some holy water. Because I know that can be kind of effective against vampires. At least I think.
No, I do remember from our encounter that it helped at one point.
What? You got a stinky butt.
All right. Let's see here. Someone has a stinky butt.
I do
Apparently,
have a stinky
Our
butt.
cat has a very stinky butt.
that is good to
It's
know.
not me.
Well, I thought she was talking to you.
That's Irin.
All right. So just to
My
give
butt-
you guys a bit of a perspective on what we're looking at, Saltmarsh. You can see here on the map that I just shared with you. Obviously, Saltmarsh is indicated up here. Dwarven Mine and where you're heading. Approximately 8.5 miles to get there. So
Oh, it's right on the coast too.
Yep, it's right on the coast, and there's a pretty well-worn trail that gets you out there, slash road. And you can see that there's definitely been like cart traffic on this road. You know, it seems like it's pretty well traveled. What I'd like you guys to do is to everybody kind of roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
Ugh.
Nice.
I do not see much.
Runar's admiring the clouds.
Okay, thank you,
It's
Irin.
a very nice file.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of clouds in the sky, Rhunar, but the ones that you can find are, you know, they're in shapes of like, oh, that one looks like a dog's head. That's kind of cool.
It's a duck, Rhunar.
No, it has a tail.
Let's see. So for Byron and Irin, you guys are the first ones to see it, but it appears as though there's an old rickety house in the not too far distance coming up ahead of you as you're kind of walking towards it. It almost looks like it's maybe about 400 or 500 yards off the main road. There's sort of a path that leads up to this old house. And then the other thing that you notice is that the road seems to branch a little bit right about here as you leave Saltmarsh. One road goes inland and one road follows the coastline towards the mine.
Cool. Look, it's a house.
Yep, but you guys keep walking and you make your way.
The path, we know the path, right? Like it's clearly marked or something.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, and you would have probably someone would have known when you talked to Manistrid. She probably would have given you directions to get there.
Okay, perfect.
In fact, I think if I remember the conversation, she did. So, yeah. So you pass the gate to this old house, and it just looks like an abandoned house that's been weathered and worn and beaten by the surf and the salty air. And based on those perception checks for Byron and Irin, it looks like there hasn't been much activity on the pathway that leads from the road up to the house. Looks pretty abandoned, run down. And you kind of get the feeling that you're approximately halfway based on the directions that Manistrid gave you.
Hmm.
Hold up. I know I probably shouldn't say this. Like, we're on our way to the mine. However...
You want to check it out too?
I mean, no, I don't. But if I were a ne'er-do-well bar owner looking to stay near to town, but also kind of get out of town, I might consider a place like this.
I'm not going to lie. I talked to someone in town, and they said he may be in Crabber's Cove as well, but that he wouldn't get out of town. If you want to check it out, I'm for it. I want to catch the guy.
I mean,
Deg?
I guess I'm open to it. Let's just not go into any dungeons we find under the floorboards.
I think we can safely say that we should rule that out as well. If we find a dungeon, let's just light the whole house on fire.
I'm into that.
Fuck it, it's weird. Let's go.
I'll
check
make
it out.
I'll make that lighting a match motion again.
Okay, so you open the gate that's unlatched, and it just kind of creaks as it opens, almost like it's about to break off the hinges. Definitely rusted from the salty air and the spray of the ocean. The pathway that leads up to the house kind of winds through the property, and as you walk on the road, you can see up above or up ahead of you that there are just amazing views of the cliffs that drop off to the ocean below.
Some low clouds are starting to kind of come in now, and a stiff wind comes off the ocean, bringing with it the briny stink of churning salt air as you approach the house. And as you get closer, it's pretty decrepit. It's sitting on a higher area of the terrain, and there's a stone wall that traverses the circumference of the grounds. There's a second gate, an ornate metal gate that's open, and it sways slightly in the broken stone fence. There's wild plants growing all over the inner yard beyond this gate. You can see there hasn't been anybody tending any garden, but there's the remnants of a once well-tended garden, and then you can see that there's a well near the house that seems to have a rotten roof covering to it.
Is there any sign of like tracks or like a well-worn path or anything?
I was hoping
like
you'd say
going in
that.
and out of the house?
Roll a perception check, Rhunar.
A very good one.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. You're looking for tracks, but you don't really see any tracks. What you do see is there's a couple of broken gardening tools in the sort of overgrowth of this garden. There's a single rose bush that's right near the gate that it's kind of choked out the other plants that are growing in that area, and there appears to be a burrow underneath the rose brush.
There's some kind of burrow over there underneath that rose bush.
Like
Doesn't look
perhaps
like
where a
freshly
wild
dug.
animal that was there would been.
Like
I mean,
a
it's
what?
Like dinner?
They're not seagulls in a burrow.
What burrows under things? I don't know.
Gophers?
Badgers, kobolds.
Snakes?
Wolverines, goblins,
Bears?
probably not Krebs.
Like, is it a big burrow?
You're gonna go over and take a look at it.
Is it
Well,
fresh? It's like fresh.
does he point it out? Like, what can we tell?
He
about
mentioned it to us.
He mentioned it to you, but it's hard to see from the path. You'd have to go take a look at it. He
Oh, I
rolled a
see what
pretty
you're
high
saying.
perception check.
Okay. Yeah, let's go take a look.
Okay.
It's a
Let's go check it out.
burrow animal burrow.
So, Irin, you lead the way over there, and as you kind of get down and take a look, you can see that it looks like it's kind of a big burrow, and you're looking in there, and all of a sudden you see some eyes, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Eyes.
How did we
Eyes
fall
glitter.
into that bullshit trap? God damn it.
Ay, ay, ay. Come on. Oh,
I love D&D.
I didn't select my thing.
How
Neither
dare
did
you?
I, crap.
How dare you?
We're terrible.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
How am I the only one who did it?
Because you're crazy.
And I'm not even rolling in the game.
You and your super powerful app that lets you contact other apps using the power of apps.
Theo, what'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Okay.
Oh, really, guys? I'm gonna go first.
This badger is your problem.
Byron, what do you got, buddy? 7?
This
Uh,
badger's gonna fuck us up.
yes.
Let's
I don't know.
see.
If he won't give a shit.
Irin, what's your dexterity?
That's a good question. Allow me to look. 16.
Oh yeah. All right. So what you see, Irin, are you see a pair of eyes, badger,
looking back at you as it sort of comes into the light a little bit. But you have the first, you have the initiative.
Okay. Like it's. So I know that you have giant badger here, but like, is it are these big eyes, like man-sized eyes?
Yes.
Fuck me.
It's about this. I mean, the eyes. It looks like a humanoid face almost looking up at you, except it has a long snout and kind of gray fur.
Except for it's a badger.
Mm-hmm.
Badgers are people too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Badger lives matter. Oh man, I don't want to fight a badger. Fuck. Yeah, I will. I'll kind of like, is it? So I guess next question, is it like striking distance?
Oh yeah, it's within. I mean, it's within 30. It's with. I would say you're probably. Yeah, you're 5 feet away from it at this point.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
because you got right up to the burrow.
All right. I will. Man, I feel like I'm gonna wait. Like a big part of me just wants to like wait until it comes out.
You could do like a patient defense, or you could ready an action.
Yeah, like I'm thinking I'm gonna ready an action,
okay.
And then
and what is it?
Headbutt it.
Okay, so you're gonna do a headbutt attack.
Like as it comes out of if it comes out, like I'm probably gonna try to make like a scary face.
Okay.
Like we dealt with kobolds like every now and then would get into our stuff as dwarves. But you don't want to always fight kobolds. Sometimes you just scare them off. So you're like, ah. So I want to make that face. Not like actually try to intimidate it, because that would of course be my action. But like instinctively, and then I'm just gonna wait. And if it comes out, I'm gonna fucking headbutt it.
Okay.
And probably punch and kick it.
All right, so you're gonna ready your action.
Headbutt.
All right, headbutt, ready in action. Got it. Okay. It comes out. So,
I headbutt it.
All right, go ahead.
That's the best thing all night.
Yeah, that was a lot of exposition for. Give it a headbutt.
Dave, do we have an action map for this scene?
No.
Okay. Whoa.
24 hits for sure.
Yeah.
That's a headbutt.
8 bludgeoning, yeah. Tweet, 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 Tweety birds.
How does it like that?
It doesn't. And it kind of cowers a little bit.
Okay.
But it still comes after you.
Okay, well I get more attacks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I get one more attack because it would be my action. I can't take bonus actions because of the ready, so I will take one more attack.
Got it. You get your extra attack. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, I'll box its ears.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Nice.
You guys just watch as Irin murders this poor badger who is just kind of coming out.
Smashes it in the face.
It's kind of like a Care Bear. He just kind of was coming out to say hi, and gets his face smashed, headbutt, and then ear smash. But there is another badger behind it that scampers out at you.
Okay.
And it's going to try and bite you.
I'm gonna make a helmet out of this badger. I have leather working.
So bite.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right.
And am I gonna become a were-badger now?
You already were.
You take 3 piercing as it bites into your lower leg and then claws at your shin for a second attack. which I believe misses.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Another badger scampers out.
Wait, a third badger?
There's a third badger that bites you and then claws at you. Misses with the bite, but it hits with the claws, I think.
Oh, yeah, it does.
For 6
Ooh,
slashing
6.
damage.
That's not great.
And then a third badger comes out.
A fourth badger?
Or a fourth, yeah. For a bite
Well, fourth badger comes
and a
out.
claw.
Jesus.
Wait, isn't like the the body of the first badger like clogging
You
up the
have been
hole?
swarmed with badgers.
They broke through the earth and came out. I think the 16
Oh.
misses, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so an additional 2 piercing.
All
Rhunar, you watch as Irin just murders this badger, and then the rest of its family just comes out, guns ablazing.
right. I guess
What the
Cribshank This is wrong hole.
Why
Right.
are we fighting giant badgers?
I don't know how close I am to Irin, but I'm gonna
You're
Draw
within 30 feet.
draw my scimitars, run over to help him,
Okay.
and attack the closest one.
All right. You're gonna hit it first with your magical scimitar. Do you still have that?
Yeah, I updated the stats, so I think
Oh,
this
nice.
should work.
Perfect. Oh yeah. That hits. You slice into it and it just cringes and screams.
That same one's still up.
It's kind of writhing on the ground and snarling at you, but yeah, it's still up.
So here's my offhand.
Yeah, that just hits and you slice it right in half. It is
And
dead.
then with my extra attack, I'm gonna go on to the next one.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that hits. It's still up, but your blade just hums through the air with this beautiful sound and just slashes right across its snout and just pours badger blood all over the ground.
That's what I got for now.
Okay, Theo. There
Theo has
is.
unlimbered his shield
You
and
s-
his sword here. But
I was just going to say that you see one badger that's been. There's 2 dead badgers. There's one badger that hasn't been touched yet, and then there's another badger that Rhunar just was dicing up that's still alive.
he was just like, "Why are we killing innocent badgers?" He says as he steps up and uses his long sword one-handed, which appears with a pop, against the injured badger,
Okay.
which crits.
Yeah.
Hello?
You basically cut it in half, and it falls into 2 perfectly butchered halves that look like they could go right on the grill.
I am so conflicted. He continues as he then uses his second attack to attack the lone remaining badger.
Okay. Oh yeah, that hits.
Nice.
It also looks rough, but it's alive. I think that brings us to Byron.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna start preparing a campfire. And, getting some I'm gonna get a pot out so I can
Boil
start
some badger.
Yeah, we're gonna make some badger out of this.
Nice. Okay, Irin, you're kind of smarting from the little bit of damage that second badger got on you, but there's still one kind of pissed off in front of you. You are muted.
Does it look like it's going to continue fighting?
Roll an insight check.
Inside that badger.
It's a pretty high DC.
Yeah.
He plays his cards close to his chest.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like it's ready to turn tail and run.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll just kind of give a big old like make myself big and yell and try to scare it off.
All right, roll an intimidation check, just for the heck of it. Oh,
Boom,
nice.
natural 20.
Yeah, it like jumps when you do that, and it dives back into the burrow and disappears.
Nice.
Irin, why didn't you start with the scaring it?
I mean, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. It came out after us.
Yeah, it moved on us.
And,
So, oh, sorry.
Yeah, now I'm going to make a cool hat.
I'm gonna walk over to the one that's perfectly cut in half and just grab it and start seasoning it.
Okay. Let's see. So you've got your pot out. You've got a fire built, and how are you going to cook it?
I think I'm gonna put the pot on the fire, and I'm just gonna put the meat in there and let the natural oils kind of coat the pan.
Yeah, there's a lot of fat on these things.
Natural badger
A lot of
oil.
oils. Yeah, it's a really oily meat. Roll a nature check for me.
Oh God.
So are we stopping here for the night? Is that what's happening now?
Well, no, we should definitely check that house, but we still have to check that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna,
Yeah, why are you making
It's still
food?
pretty early, right?
It is lunchtime.
you just
Yeah.
murdered a bunch of badgers. You think we're just gonna leave them here to rot?
No, something else will eat them, I'm sure. Perhaps another badger.
Us.
Are badgers cannibals?
If you eat the badger, you become one with the badger. And
Hold
then
on.
you just don't give a shit.
I'm gonna roll a nature check. Badgers are not cannibals. I know this.
American badgers or European badgers?
You also,
Question.
Theo, you also know with that roll that badger is extremely tough and gristly meat. It's not the most appetizing mouthfeel unless you boil it for a long time to break
You're gonna have
down
to slow
the.
roast that for like overnight for it to be edible,
Right.
right?
Yep.
All right, Byron does not know this.
Theo says that out loud.
Okay.
You know we're gonna have to like cook that all night.
Oh, really?
It's like
Oh,
slow
man.
cook.
What? We killed these for nothing then?
Yes, we killed the badgers for nothing.
Oh, I thought we were making food.
Let's just go check out this house.
Maybe there's
Ah.
a kitchen.
Yeah, so there was mushroom.
Is there a mushroom?
Are you looking for mushrooms?
Well, if there's some.
No,
badger-
we're not
badger-
looking for
badger-
snakes easy either.
Assume there is a mushroom or mushroom. Then we're for badger.
All right, we either get going to the mine or check this house.
Snake.
What should we do?
We're in here.
Well, we made it halfway to this house. Let's finish searching it.
Yeah.
There's also a really interesting looking well that you guys haven't
No,
checked out
fuck
yet.
no.
No, maybe
Fuck
not.
that wall.
Maybe you
Aaron,
just
go
don't-
look in the well.
Shut your mouth. No.
Aaron,
Stick your head over
Everyone-
Yeah, look,
that well.
do you want us to lower you into the well?
Ghosts inside,
Spit-
we're going to make friends
Spit
with them.
down
It's going
into
to
the
be
well.
You're a dwarf. Do you want us to lower you?
No.
Oh Jesus! All right,
No, forget that well. Let's go check out the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. So you now having murdered a family of badgers and mortally wounding a fourth, you look up at the house, and again, it's just a dilapidated looking house. There's a small narrow porch on the front of the house that leads to a doorway that. The porch looks a little rough. Some of the floorboards are broken. Some are missing. And there's a door. The door is closed. There are windows, and many of the windows are broken. And other than that, the house just looks like it should be condemned for sure, if it hasn't already been condemned.
I'm gonna knock on the door really loudly.
Why are you doing that?
See if
Why-
anybody's
why-
home. What do you think?
So you walk up and you knock on the door. And as you do, the door just kind of swings open. And you can see, and it's dark. I mean, there's some ambient light that makes its way into the interior of the house, but it's pretty dark.
Are there any crossbows on traps ready to shoot me. If I could.
Roll a perception check.
There is a bag of
I'll help you look
nails.
for. I'll help you look for anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, so roll with advantage.
All right. Perception, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Nice. You do not see any sort of crossbow readied. You look inside and you can see, basically what you see is this, that the front door opens into a musty, dirty entrance hall. It's hard from the angle that you're at to really make out a whole lot of the interior architecture to this building, but there is a corridor that leads ahead of you quite a ways. It's a rather large entryway, and what you can see is that there's a stairwell on the right side of this main entry hall.
How big is this house? Is this like a Dralian house?
It's not, no, it's not quite as big as Dralian, but it's probably, let's see. It's probably, from your perspective, I mean, it's quite big. It's about 130 feet at its width, and it's hard to tell how deep it goes back towards the cliffs. But it's pretty large, but it's not as big as Dralian's place.
So like a 2-bedroom kind of thing.
Bigger than that. Definitely bigger than
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
definitely
right.
a 2-story, 3-bedroom.
It's a two-story.
Entry home.
It's a 2-story building.
It's got a nice shiplap.
Yep. Well, at one point it was probably a really nice estate.
Oh. Well, guys, let's split up. Let's split up and search it real quick, in and out, and then we'll well, we're not going to eat Badger, I guess. I guess we'll just keep going.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
I'll look at
So-
Theo and I'll be like, Theo, let's go upstairs. Let's look upstairs.
So you guys are gonna head on in. All right.
Yes.
Let me get you guys on the map here. Byron, you step in first, followed by
Attack
Theo.
Yes.
Okay. And then Rhunar and Irin. Okay, let's bring you guys over to the map.
The map.
Oh, we've got a map.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, so this is the main entrance hall that you just walked into. Let me give you a little bit of a description here. You walk in. To your left, there's a corridor that leads to the west wing of this house. The walls are bare. There's bits of smashed furniture lying upon the floor. Ahead of you, up in this direction, there's a corridor. Yep, up there. That corridor leads towards the rear of the house and towards the towards the rear of the house. There's a staircase right here on the eastern edge. And it reaches up to a balcony that overlooks the entrance hall along its north and west sides. The stairs appear safe to climb, although the balcony rail is broken in several places. Under the stairs at the north end of the hall, a third corridor heads east, over here.
Is there any perceptible like rooms on the second floor?
Now that you're inside, if you want to roll a perception check, you can certainly do that.
Oops, I still had advantage on.
We'll go with the first number on the left.
Yes.
So you're looking around the room, and you actually see two sets of humanoid tracks in the dust on the floor in front of you. One set of tracks travels from the entrance towards the back, straight ahead, like towards this area back here. And a second set of tracks leads down this hallway here.
away from the stairs.
Ooh, we should split up and go both those directions.
Split up.
Well, just in case, we don't want anyone to backtrack and get out of the house behind us.
All right.
The first sign of trouble,
We flee.
run outside.
Yes,
meet
because
back
just in
here,
case it's your old bard.
Yeah, that's what I would. It's either.
I hadn't even thought about that.
It was literally the first thing that crossed my mind.
Should we meet back here in the entry hall if something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems wise.
Yell loudly. Disengage.
Or scream.
Yeah. Meet here, and then we'll either fight or flee.
So do this. Everybody move your tokens 30 feet in whatever direction you're going to investigate.
Okay. Who wants to come with Rhunar?
I'll go with Rhunar.
Is
Go
Rhunar
with-
talking about himself in the third person now?
Rhunar
Yeah.
goes this way. Who come with Rhunar?
We are all Rhunar.
Wow, that was beautiful. Kind of brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
All right, so Irin and Rhunar, you head down that western hallway, and you see a door on your left, and just a little bit farther down the hall, you see another door right here on your right. Both doors are closed, but there's an open door at the end of the hall that leads into a larger room.
Any more signs of the footprints in the dust?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, the footprints lead down the hallway in this direction, into the room at the end of the hall.
I mean,
Let's move
we-
carefully.
do we really want to pass up these rooms? Like leave closed doors behind us? Should we check them real quick?
Looking about, does it look like these things have been disturbed quite a bit recently?
You're gonna
Like,
invest.
in
You want to
comparison, say-
investigate or look for tracks or something?
Yeah, I'll make an investigation.
Yeah, roll an investigation.
Like trying to compare between the dust that isn't in the footprints and then the dust that is in the footprints. and
Sure.
then seeing if there's any kind of comparison on that route. 16.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see the tracks. The most obvious sign that you can see right now are the tracks in the dust. Now that Rhunar pointed them out, you can see them leading into this room beyond. You don't get the sense that either of these doors has been opened in some time.
It doesn't really look like we need to worry about those doors.
All right.
That's
Let's move up.
yeah. Moving up.
All right, you guys move up.
Attempting to be careful and quiet.
All right,
Yep.
you guys want to stealth? You can move at half speed and go ahead and roll a stealth check and then move 15 feet. Byron and Theo, at this point, you're sort of at this junction. There's a hallway heading to the east and a hallway heading to the north. What are you guys thinking about?
We were pointed in the north direction, correct? For the
Yeah, we were following those steps.
Following the tracks. Got it. Okay. So as you move forward down this hallway, you see a door on your right that is closed and a door on your left that is closed. There is a door at the end of this hallway that is also closed. And the tracks, go ahead and roll a survival check, Byron, if you're looking at the tracks, just to make sure that you can tell where they go.
Theo's going to look for the tracks as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check as well. Nice.
Oh, I thought it was going to be 7.
Yeah. I thought it just moves.
I really like those 3D dice. If you guys are
I know.
willing to turn it on, I highly recommend it. It's great.
like
Yeah, so you can definitely see with that, both of you, that the tracks lead down towards this door.
Wait, which door? The one on the right?
The one at the end of the hall.
Oh, the one on the end. I'm going to run up to it and just kick it down.
All right. Roll,
Dude, she's like, "What are
roll a strength. Do a strength check for me.
Oh, Oh, this could be very bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
it's
thank
brittle.
goodness.
It just blasts off the door, and Irin and Rhunar, you actually hear that, the crash of a door busting into a bunch of pieces. It's just a wooden door that just blows up basically as he kicks it down.
As soon as the door gets kicked in, I'm gonna scream, Craig!
Craig?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Craig?
if he's here or not, but
Oh, Crab?
Craig is
I
dead.
definitely meant Crab. I definitely meant Crab.
All right, we'll retcon that you actually yelled out Crab.
Appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Crab!
Crab.
The beer's hitting.
All right, so the door is now open, and you can see inside this room. It appears to be the kitchen. It's dirty, it's damp. There's patches of gray mold and cobwebs on the floor, walls, ceiling. Now in the southwest corner, which is going to be right here, I like that they actually put the compass rose on the right way here. In the southwest corner is some iron cooking equipment with the chimney above it. Next to it under the window is a cracked and discolored stone sink right here. Next to the sink is a closed wooden cupboard fixed to the wall about 5 feet above the floor level. That's right here. And then against the far wall, there is a flight of wooden stairs that leads up from the west to the east, heading upstairs. The woodwork of the staircase is decayed, and there are a few treads that are missing. And you guys are just at the threshold. Actually, Theo, you can't really see much of that because Byron is kind of at the threshold of the room.
Yeah, he ran up and kicked it down. Theo just kind of sighed and walked up behind him.
Okay.
Byron's emotional about this guy.
Let's go back to
Clearly.
Irin and Rhunar. You guys are also at the threshold of the room at the end of the hall. What are you going to do?
This door is open.
It is.
What do we see?
That's a great question, and I will tell you. You are looking at a fairly sizable living area, about 20 feet in depth, and from wall to wall about 35 feet. You, Irin, can see this because you're at the threshold. There is a wall to the north, or a door to the north that leads outside to a small patio.
Up this way?
Yep. This right
Okay.
here, you can see this.
Oh, yeah.
And
I didn't realize.
there is a pile of refuse in the south. Well, you can't really see that from where you're at, actually, based on the fog of war. But you can see that there are definitely tracks that you've been following that lead up to this area right here, which you can see right here.
Okay. Yeah, I will kind of cautiously, I guess, like, at the ready, step into the room.
I'm right behind him.
Okay.
Where Badger wait.
So now when you do that, guys, you can see that there's a door here out to the patio. There's a bunch of refuse in this southeast corner, and the tracks lead up to this area right here. And you guys see it right away when you walk in. It's noticeable. There's a trap door. The tracks
Right
lead
here?
right up to it. Yep, right on this square right there.
Okay. I will, oh, yeah, I was going to back up in a way, but you came right up to me.
So you guys are both standing right at the edge of this trap door, and suddenly you hear this voice. Welcome, fools. Welcome to your deaths.
It's not a vampire voice, is it?
Roll a history check. I don't know how you would know this, but we'll just see.
I mean, I've spoken with a vampire recently.
It doesn't
It's not
sound.
that voice.
It doesn't sound like Zolik.
Okay, that's all I'm worried about. How sturdy does this trapdoor look?
You're gonna investigate it. Roll an investigation check. And then I want both you and Rhunar to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ah,
Jesus. All right.
at least I'm kind of good at that. Oh, come on, it's these new virtual dice I have.
There we go.
They're shaped like healing potions.
Rhunar, you are successful. And you don't really, you hear this voice, this malevolent, loud voice. It throws you off a little bit. But Irin, you're frightened.
Yep.
For 1 hour.
I say, yep, it's time to go, and then I move this way.
And let's see. Let's find me for your token. Find me a frightened.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you think would be good for frightened. All right, so back to the kitchen. You guys are standing at the threshold, Byron. Theo is standing right behind you. Suddenly you hear this booming voice, but you can't really make out what it says.
Well, at least they know we're here.
Do we go up the stairs? Are they up the stairs?
Theo's going to check this other door.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the door you want it doesn't let's see. Roll an investigation check. Are you trying to see if it's locked or something? It's closed for sure.
If it's closed, I would like to open it.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
That's
special. Just open the door.
easy enough. Yep. Let me open that for you. Okay.
Hey, I found the pantry.
Yep. The room displays the effects of damp and decay more than the others. Mold is growing in patches on the floor, the walls, the ceiling, thicker than in the kitchen. There's a large copper cask, split, discolored and empty, standing under the window, plus a small heap of crockery shards on the floor besides it, and stairs that lead down into what is presumably a cellar.
Byron, should we go help them, or do we want to see what's down here?
Where do the footsteps go? The footprints.
Great question. Hold on.
What, baby?
Where do the footprints go?
They go to the stairs and down the stairs.
They go down the stairs.
Let's go down the stairs.
I don't think we should split up.
No, I'm right behind you.
I don't think.
Wait,
this
do
is
you
a good
mean we shouldn't split up with the other guys?
Yes, they obviously found something. I've confirmed what I wanted to know here. We should check on them.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so Irin and Rhunar, Irin, you're running back towards the main hall?
Yep.
Okay, you can easily make it back there.
Okay.
Rhunar,
Seeing
what
that
are you doing?
Well, seeing Irin just break tail and run, I'm just like slowly kind of backing up towards the door. And I'm just gonna be like, "Who are you? Show yourself."
Okay, you don't get a response. Byron and Theo, you're making your way back to the main hall?
We're way downtown.
Yep, you guys are able to get back here. You see Irin kind of breathing heavy, and he's kind of hunched over a little bit, maybe hands on his knees, just kind of breathing heavy a little bit. He looks shaken up.
What did you find?
There's,
A really scary hole in the ground.
yeah. There's a scary voice.
Scary voice.
Yeah. Last time we found scary voices in the dark. Look what happened.
It wasn't a voice that we found. We found the casket.
It also talked to us.
Fuck, they must have a wizard.
Wait, did you say deck wizard? They have a deck wizard? Fuck that guy.
They had a wizard, but
You know how we feel about deck wizards, right?
That's
You're
right.
just
I
now
will
enraged.
instantly overcome all fear about deck wizards.
Yeah.
Replaced with
Double-
hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hate deck wizards.
We
Yeah.
really do.
Here, look at me. Look at me. Now look outside. Now look back at me. Is the sun up?
Yep.
Then it's not a fucking vampire.
It's a vampire.
We are indoors, though.
Irin just
It's
runs
really
out the front
scary
door.
though.
Oh no, I believe you when you say it's scary, but it's probably not a fucking vampire.
Rhunar, what are you doing now? Are you heading back to the group?
Yeah, I'm gonna back up.
All right.
I'm just
All
be
right,
like,
so you guys are all standing in the hall here.
Okay. Hey, Rhunar, what did you find?
well, we found some sort of trapdoor in the floor of the room over there on the west side, and
I'm helping.
we were, starting to kind of like look into it, and all of a sudden we heard this voice that said that, we were gonna meet our doom. That's what it said, right, Irin? What did it say again?
It said, I believe it said, "Welcome to your doom."
So,
Could have been a 5-year-old trying to scare you.
so it's either the worst ghost ever, which is possible given our luck,
It was pretty freaky sounding, but
or they have a wizard.
But we left that badger alone.
They know we're here, whoever they are. We also found a pantry
Wait,
with stairs
Can
going down.
badgers do magic?
Only if they were technically like a druid. In which case, you're fucked, man.
they didn't attack us.
Well,
They shouted at us pretty hard, but
the point is there is clearly someone here. So we want to
Can
go
we-
through it. But
can we go back to this trapdoor and maybe check it for any signs of magic?
I mean, I can go look at it. You want me to go look at it?
Just come with me.
Yeah,
Irin,
go
you
look
can
at it.
hang. Irin, you can hang back if you want.
Yeah, Irin,
I
you're
don't
very
I
hesitant.
don't feel good about it.
He's pacing in the hall, kind of sweating a little bit now.
It's okay. I don't feel good about any of this. But no, we had to go
Aaron.
look in the haunted house.
Aaron, we could burn this place to the ground. And then whatever it is, whatever threatened us, is gone.
That's not a bad idea.
I know.
So,
I'm an
as
innovative
I
thinker.
understand it, it's right here. This square is the open trapdoor.
Correct, right here.
Theo is going to blink a couple times rapidly. His eyes are going to turn that bright ice blue and cast Detect Magic.
Yes, you do pick up a sense of magic coming off of the trapdoor. It's an abjuration.
Yeah, so there's a magic something on that.
Can we see down into it?
No, it's closed.
Oh, it's closed.
Yep,
Okay.
it's a closed trapdoor.
So it hasn't been
You haven't touched it.
set off yet.
Correct.
Like,
Oh, actually, it's an illusion. Sorry, it's an illusionary magic.
Okay, so that is magic.
so is it some kind of security system or something? What's going on?
Sounds like the type of thing a wizard would put on a door he didn't want people to go through and was trying to scare off. In a haunted house.
Can I perceive where those footprints are in this room? Did they go out the door?
The footprints, when you originally came into the room, you saw them, they led right to the trap door. And now there's been enough traffic in there between you, Irin, and
Yeah.
Theo that it's kind of scuffed up the tracks, but you know that they went to the trap door.
And you said there was some rubbish down here.
Correct. Yep.
Can I go inspect that?
Sure.
Just see if there's like anything that would indicate like somebody was there, or chests, gold, treasures.
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Right.
To check out the rubbish pile.
Kick at it.
You are able to do a pretty thorough investigation, and it looks like there's a thick layer of dust over most of it. There's rat turds all over it. It's old. It looks like some of the old drapes that had been pulled off the windows, broken glass, and then possibly a rat's nest or a mouse nest.
Rats.
Yes, that's probably what it is here. Thank you, Rhunar Deg. Are we going down here, or do you want to go into the pantry, or do you want to burn the house down?
Well, we could definitely look around a little bit more.
Well, we found other stairs down. If there are people down there, which I assume they are because they're trapped,
Is
or
this-
it could just be something that he left and let forget.
Dave, is this a door?
Yes, goes out to a broken tiled patio.
But that's outside.
Yes, yep.
And this is, what is this?
That's a window.
Oh, okay. Can you see through the door?
No.
Okay. All right, what do you think? Should we go back the way you guys found?
I think if Kreb is here, he's probably down there. I assume, unless this is left over from something older, which is possible. But
Oh,
my
like he
guess
fell
is,
down-
if
he fell
Kreb
down
is here,
this- He fell down this trap?
no, it's you don't put a trap on something unless you want to hide something or keep people away from something. This was clearly a keep people away from thing, right?
Yeah, there are footprints leading right into it.
Okay, so obviously you missed something to get by, or a wizard came by and set that up real recently, which is something to consider. Could be fireballs. But my guess is if anyone is here, and if we are assuming any of them might be Kreb, they'll be down there. That is the only reason I can really think of to go down there, but it's worth taking a look.
Should we check these other two rooms on this hallway?
I think we need to get downstairs now if we're going downstairs.
All right. I mean, should we... Do you think it's worth springing this trap or not?
You already did. That the trap went off.
Oh,
Congratulations.
okay. I see. Never mind. All right. Well,
Byron seems to really be looking for Kreb, so
we know that this house has traps in it. We should just proceed with caution. Stay together.
I agree. Hey, Kreb.
We're
I mean,
pretty certain.
Byron.
We're pretty certain what
Oh, hello.
Irin. We're pretty certain what Irin ran into was a trap set up by somebody that had a fair amount of magical knowledge.
Irin, at this point, it's been, I don't know, about 15 minutes since the first triggering of the trap. So you can roll another saving throw. Wisdom save.
Can we give him
He is still terrified.
back rubs to make him more comfortable?
Yeah, you can give him a back rub. Byron kind of talked him down a little bit. The fact that you've explained to him that it was potentially set up by a wizard and sort of your theory on it sort of calms him down, and you did save, so you are no longer frightened.
Nice.
Deck wizards. Now I'm enraged.
Okay, well,
Let's be honest. It was probably a fucking deck wizard. Let's
those
go
are you
check
guys
it.
exactly.
I'm just
Let's
gonna
go
give
check out
myself
the
a
cellar.
fist icon all the time.
Can we have advantage against deck wizards? I think that's called for. Anyways,
I think we all need to start taking. We need to take the Mage Slayer feat the next time we can take feats.
you said that let's go follow this other set of tracks
They
downstairs.
go.
Oh, they go this way. Follow.
Yeah. Come on, Aaron. We got to go kill the deck wizard.
So you make your way down the hall into what appears to be the kitchen. Rhunar and Irin, this is your kind of first view of the kitchen, just to lay it out for you. It's dirty, it's damp, there's mold and cobwebs all over the place. Cooking equipment, there's a chimney over the stove, there's a discolored stone sink, a cabinet on the wall, etc. And then, so like over here's a sink, there's a cabinet, there's a cooking surface, etc.
Any spices?
You could certainly look. The cabinet's closed.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna open the cabinet.
All right. You open the cupboard and it's empty.
And you see two eyes.
Why do you
And it's a
keep going
badger.
ahead and-
Another badger. How are the 4 badgers get in this cupboard?
And it's that wounded badger.
As you look in the cupboard, I need everybody to roll initiative.
I shouldn't have joked about
Way
it.
to go.
Why did you
Damn
do
it.
that?
Human-faced badger coming at us. Oh, I gotta select. my
Yeah.
Aw.
Here we go. Come on, baby. Okay.
Nice. All right. And with that initiative on the board, we are going to end tonight's session right here, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next
week. The head of a
week.
badger pokes out of the sink.
We didn't even get to the mine.
A zombie badger.
Zombie badgers.
Oh my god.
3 zombie badgers and a mostly wounded,
Pissed off,
sewed
badger
together
junior
badger.
wizard.
I love dangling shiny things in front of you guys.
Yeah, we fall for it every time.
Yeah, well, why not?
Dude, just like, what are you people doing?
That's Dungeons and Dragons.
We're a mop head of loose ends right now.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
not wrong.
We just found another one that
Yeah,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
leave
add
behind
another
at some
strand,
point.
baby.